Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this channel named Geeks for Geek School. So, yesterday we guys were doing this game. Let me show you what all things we are done with defining the code of on this Sublime Text platform. So, I am running this game for you guys, and so that's the window which you are able to see here, which we coded yesterday. And this is our enemy sprite, and this is the spaceship, which I can move from left to right and right to left. See, all right. So that's what we did yesterday. Okay, and also we defined the code for getting this caption reflected over here on this window, and this icon which you're able to see right on the top before the space bar. For this also we defined a specific code, right, for getting this image on this window over here. Now what are we going to do today? Let me just show that to you first so that you can also get a better idea of that thing. So I would like to run this game first. Okay, so as you can see, here we have a beautiful background image, right? And uh, we have some enemy sprites over here. So what I have done, I've created copies of that enemy sprite which I just showed you in that previous red window. Okay, and here you can see I am able to move this spaceship here and there. Now, if I will press the spacebar key, I'm able to shoot, this bullet from this rocket. So that's what we are going to do today. Right, in the next lecture that I will shoot tomorrow, in that I'll tell you how you can define the code with the help of which you can check the collision happening in between the bullet and the enemy sprites, and also how can you get this score kind of thing reflected on this beautiful window. Right, so let's close the window and come back on this spacebar.py. So at present, our game looks somewhat like this. So the first thing which I would like to do is let's define a background. Let's bring that image, on this background over here. I don't want this red color anymore. Okay, so we are going to use the same concept. So I'll be using a variable named bg. Inside this, I would like to load an image which I will use as a background of my game. So let me just show you the image which I have already there on this in this folder where all my files of this games are present. So I've told you already in the yesterday's lecture that I generally prefer to save my things in that folder where all my Python files and libraries are present, so that I don't get I so that I didn't get any error when I run my game. So it is there in the shooting game, I think. Not in shooting game, I think it's in the color game, yeah. So we are going to make use of this beautiful image. And what is the name of this image? So for checking that, we can simply right click on this image and we can visit the properties section. So the complete name of this image is space2.jpg. Now what we can do, we can put this space2.jpg over here. Okay, so that's the way you can load an image in a variable. Fine. Now, how to bring this image? Because if you will run this game now, you will still see this background in red. You will not be able to see that image in the background. So, how to bring that image in this background? Now, that's the question. So, for that, we can simply set the background of this we can simply set the background of this window using, let me just come on that code which I have defined here, which for making that window red. Where is that code? Just give me a short moment. I think that's the one which we defined for filling the window with a red color. Am I right? Yes, I am right. So what we can do, instead of passing these coordinate, instead of passing these values, let's pass this variable as a parameter to this function, right? Because that's the one which we want to see getting reflected in the background. It is showing an error. Let me remove these brackets and use this code once again. Okay, it is still showing this error. Now, why is it showing this error? Okay, maybe you know why it is showing this error, because I haven't passed the value of the point at which I want to fix this image. So 0 comma 0, you can pass it as a tuple like this, and let's run this code now and see what's gonna happen. Still I am getting an error. Now why is it so? Everything is fine here. Why am I getting an error? Okay, let's do one thing. Uh, maybe fill is for filling the color. That's the reason it is giving us an error. Now, what else can we use for getting something reflected on our game window? So it is this split function, right? That we can use for getting our background image or something that we want on our game to be there. We can use this split function for getting the same reflected on our window, right? So let's use this and see now we are going to get the output or not. Yes, we are getting the output. So this image is visible to us over here, and we have this enemy sprite, we have this rock spaceship over here which we can move in both the directions. So that's how, with the help of this split function, you can bring your image whatever you want in the background of your game window. Okay, so it's time for us to define the code for the bullet part. How can we make the spaceship fire bullets? So I am going to make use of the same concept which I used for this spaceship and this alien ship. So here we are going to make use of this variable bullet, and in this I would like to call the I would first like to load the bullets image. So as I've told you, I have already downloaded all the images in this folder. Uh, so I have an image over here with name bullet.png. I would first like to put it inside this load object. So that's how we can load at this image in this bullet named variable. It's time for us to use a variable which can help us in use two variables, rather I should say like this, bullet.y. So these are for the position of the bullet, right? So let me initialize it with 400, and for the movement, the bullet's movement is going to take place along the y-axis, because when we'll fire the bullet, we would like to see the bullet going upwards. So for that also, we can have an extra variable with name position y, and let's initialize it with 8, right? Besides that, let's have another variable with name state, which is going to help us in finding the state of the bullet. Okay, I think it is good to go. Yeah, right. Now, we were able to see many aliens getting reflected on the game window. Now, if I'll run this over here, if I'll run this code, so we are able to see many alien images here. So how I have done this, how I have created these images, that also I would like to tell you. But let's finish with this bullet coding first. Now we want that if what I want is when I press the spacebar key present on my keyboard, I want to see the bullet coming out from the spaceship. So we need to come down here in this while loop, that is our main game loop, and here we can, just below this, if event dot type equal to py game dot sorry event dot key is equal to py game dot key underscore left, we can define an event which can help us in finding out whether the user has pressed the spacebar key or not. And if the user has pressed the spacebar key, we can make something, we can define some code for the bullet in such a way that we can see the bullet moving upwards at that time. So let's first change this to space. So there are two conditions which I would like to check here, whether the user has pressed the spacebar key, and also you remember I just defined this variable b state, whether the state of this bullet is false or not, whether the bullet is there or not. Okay, so if these two conditions are true, then what should happen? That's what I would like to now define here. So the bullet x, right, it should become equal to spaceship x. That's the first thing I would like to do, because I want to see the bullet coming out from the spaceship. So if this is equal to space x, then obviously the x position of the bullet and the spaceship will become same, and we'll be able to see it coming out from the spaceship. And let's make it true. Right, the moment the user will press the spacebar key, this b state is will become true. Right. Now, if I'll run this game, so now if I'll hit the spacebar key, I am not able to see the bullet. See, I am not able to see the bullet. Why? Because still there is something which we haven't defined the code for. So let's go back on the coding window. Now, what is the thing which we are missing? I would like you guys to give me the answer of this question. You can put your answers in the comment section so that I can see your answers. Please go ahead. There is something which we haven't defined the code for. That is the reason, when I'm pressing the spacebar key, this is happening, but we are not able to see the bullet. We are not able to see it coming out of the window, sorry, spaceship. Right, so what is that which we have to define, by the help of which we can get to see the bullet coming out of the rocket? Okay, if you want me to help you guys with that, no problem, I'll do that for you. But make sure that in case you don't understand the concept, please do let me know in the comment section. Fine, so that I can explain that concept to you again. See, we'll have to check whether this state is equal to sorry, whether this condition is true. Right, if b state is true, if this condition is true, then what should happen? Then bullet dot y minus, we need to change the position of the bullet. That's what we haven't done yet. Now bullet's y position is being controlled by bullet underscore y. Right, so what I am doing here, for in order to make the bullet move, we can do it like this. Right, and then it's time for us to call the function we haven't defined yet, which we are supposed to define for bullet. Okay, so the function, we have defined this display alien for getting the alien reflected on the game window. we have this function named display spaceship for getting the spaceship on our game window. In the same way, we need to define a specific function with which we can get our bullet also on our game window. So what I will do, let me put this name here, fire bullet, and let's pass these two values to it. So bullet underscore x, and I would like to see it because coming out from the head of the rocket, so that's the reason bullet x plus 15 I have done here, and here I am passing this bullet underscore y. Okay, now it's time for us to define this function named bullet underscore fire underscore bullet. Why? So that we can get the bullet on our main window. We can get to see the bullet on our main window. So we can simply copy this code and we can put it here. Okay, and let's change it to fire underscore bullet. Okay, and the parameters are going to remain the same. They are going to remain x and y only. Window.bullet is going to help us in bringing the bullet on the window. And here we have to change it to bullet because that's the variable in which we have saved the bullets image. Let me now run this game and see what is going to happen. So I'm able to see this spaceship, and if I will press this spacebar key, I was able to see that bullet, right? But it is no more visible to us. Let me run this game again, and now if I will fire this, if I'll press this spacebar key, I'm able to see the bullet, but I am not able to, if I'm pressing the spacebar key again, it's not visible to me. So what I have to do now, I have to define the code for this bullet in such a way that we can fire as many bullets as we want from this spaceship, right? That's what I want should happen. Now how to do that, I am giving you 2 minutes, I'm giving you 1 minute, sorry. Think about it and please share with me the answer. If you have the answer of this question in your mind, please do share your answers with me in the chat box. What I want is, if the moment I press the spacebar key, I'm able to see the bullet. But if I'm pressing the spacebar key again, if I'm pressing it again, what is happening? I'm not able to see the bullet again. I want to fire multiple bullets. It's not like I want to have only one bullet in my pocket. I want to have multiple bullets in my pocket so that every time I press the spacebar key, the bullet is there on the game window. So how can we do that? Okay, let me help you guys with this. See, if this bullet, what is happening when we are pressing the spacebar key, the bullet is coming and it is leaving the window. At some point of time, we are not able to see it. Why? Because it is out of the window. So the moment this condition becomes true, if bullet y is smaller than equal to 0, then what should happen? The value of this should again become equal to 400. See how simple is this? And also we would like the, sorry, I think we'll have to, yeah, now it is fine. And also we need to change the state to the initial state, which is false. Let me now run this code and see what is going to happen if I will press the spacebar key. So I just saw bullet. I'm able to fire. See, I'm able to fire now more number of bullets. So every time I'm pressing the spacebar key, I'm able to see the bullet coming out of my rocket. So it is amazing, right? So simple if control statement you can use for getting the desired output. Okay. Now, if I am pressing my left direction key, what is happening? It is going out of the window. And if I am pressing my right direction key, if I'm continuously pressing my right direction key, what is happening? It is going out of the window again, but from the right side. I don't want that to happen. So how can I put a restriction on this thing? Again, we can make use of if control statement. That is absolutely right. So we can come down here And here we can use this condition. If spaceship, yeah, underscore x is smaller than equal to 0, then what should happen? The spaceship, this spaceship should become equal to 0, right? And we can define another condition like this: spaceship x, because the movement of a spaceship is taking place along the x-axis, right? So if it becomes greater than 730 while moving towards the right, if the x position becomes greater than or equal to 730, then a spaceship x should be equal to 730. It should not, it will not never increase from 7. Okay, I think there is an error here. I need to put a colon. Yeah, now it is fine. So now if I will run this code and let's press the left direction key. See, it's not going out of the window. Why? It's showing me this error. Argument 1 must be pygame not int. Why it is showing me this error? Okay, because here it should be x, right? That's the reason the name of the variable was not correct. Yeah, now the code is working fine. See, if I am pressing the right direction key, and if I'm continuously pressing it and I'm not releasing my right direction key, this spaceship is still there, or it is not leaving the window. And if I am pressing my left direction key, it is still there, it is not leaving the window. So that's the magic of if control statement, right? Now it's time for us to define a code with the help of which we can create multiple copies of the enemy sprite. Now, how to do that? So, what we can do? We can simply make use of the lists function. Okay, so let's come up here. Pygame.display.set icon spaceship. This is the code for the bullet, and that's where we have defined the code for the alien sprites. Right now, here we can change this to alien is equal to, let's create a list type of variable first. It's an empty list, and then we can, so I am redefining the code for the alien sprite. That's what I'm doing. Alien x, alien, let's change it to aliens. I think that will be a more relevant name. Okay, aliens underscore y is also going to be an empty list. Aliens underscore variable underscore position y also is equal to this. Let's copy this and I'm putting it here. Let me replace it with x. Yeah, I think everything is fine here. Okay, and I am removing this whole code from here because I don't want this anymore. Now for, if you want to have, suppose, five number of aliens, or five number of images of the aliens on your game window, so you can define a variable. We can define a variable here, and let's initialize it with 5 because we want 5 different alien images. Let's have a for loop for I in, and we can use this range function, and here we can pass this number of aliens as parameter to this function. It's time for us to append. You can use this append function for appending this image to the aliens. Now all the aliens are going to be of this kind, this type. So this image will be loaded on all the aliens, and we'll be able to see the aliens of the same type. They will look identical now. Okay, and then aliens dot underscore x. It's time for us to append use this append function again. So what I would like to do, I would like to assign them I would like my computer or my game to assign each of them a random value. So for this, we can make use of this randint function, right? So let's put 0 comma 100. So somewhere in between this will somewhere in between this, the value will be assigned to this x part of this alien. And how can we get this random function? We'll have to import this random module, in which we have this random function. Okay, where is that code? Yeah. So aliens x dot append random dot random 0 comma 100. Let's do the same thing with so as soon as the first alien will get generated, this image will be appended to that alien, and one number out of in between these two numbers will be selected, and one number out of in between these two numbers will be selected, and based on that a position will be assigned to that alien. Okay, that's what I have done here. And it's time for us to aliens underscore variable position x. So we need to append the x position, so 0.3. So that's the variable you can use for controlling the speed along the x-axis and y-axis of these aliens. Now I don't require this thing anymore. I'm eliminating this because that's where I'm appending the images. I'm appending this image to my aliens, which this for loop is creating. So that is the reason I eliminated that whole code. Okay, let's now come down, and here we have defined this aliens function. Now because there are going to be multiple aliens which this for loop will create for us. So here we'll have to first, I think, change it to aliens, and let's make it I, because every alien is going to can be accessed by a unique index number, because every alien is going to have a unique index number. So we can use I, which is going to help us in fetching the unique index numbers for getting the aliens reflected on the window. And then we can change the name of the function also. Let's make it display aliens. I think that is going to be a good option, and rest everything is going to remain the same. Right, so now we have three different functions, one for the spaceship here, then we have this display aliens, and one for this displaying the bullet on the window. Okay, and let's now come down. Here I think everything is good to go. Nothing, we don't have to change anything. Then we have this spaceship if control statement, so this is also fine, we don't have to change anything here. We have this display spaceship. Okay, and I think we can remove it for now because we don't want it anymore. Here we have this beast. Here we have the if control statement for bullet. Again, this is the one we have for the bullet. Okay, and now we need to have a for loop inside this while loop, which can help us in making the aliens move on the full image, because I want the aliens to move automatically themselves the way they are moving here. They are taking some random position and then they are moving themselves. We are not controlling these alien sprites. So that's the kind of animation I want to get for my game also. Now if I'll simply pass display aliens function, I will not be able to get that kind of thing. Let me just show it to you. So if I'll pass this function display aliens, and I'll have to pass the parameters also. Now while passing the parameters, you remember, because we are creating uh, 5 different aliens, so we'll have to pass this value of I as well. Now, if I'll put this I simply like this here, what will happen? Let's check it out. So we are getting only one enemy sprite here, right? We are getting only one alien here. What about the rest of the four? Okay, so for that we'll have to define a for loop. So let's do that. For I in range, and here we can have number of aliens. Fine, and aliens underscore x I, we can simply define a condition for this aliens underscore variable x. Okay, so that's the, that's the condition which I generally use for making the sprites move automatically themselves. And if I don't want that while moving, they leave the window at any point of time. So I'll have to put a condition for that too, right? I'll have to put a check on that thing too. So that's how I can do this. If aliens x position is smaller than equal to 0 at any point of time, then what should happen? Aliens variable position x I should become equal to zero point 0.3 first, and then this alien, where is that y? Yeah, that's the one. So I should become, I would like to use again the same condition, aliens variable position y, and here we can put I simply. Okay, so that's what I would like should happen in case this x position becomes smaller than equal to 0. Similarly, we can copy the same code, and now we'll have to put a condition again here for checking its movement in the right direction. So if in case it becomes greater than equal to 730, I don't want it to leave the window at any point of time, right? So we'll have to, we can put this first, and then we can, I think rest of the things are going to remain the same. Yeah, and then we can, instead of putting it outside the for loop, we can put it inside the for loop like this. Let's now run this code and see what is going to happen. You can see we are able to see the aliens moving, but why they are leaving this window? You know why they are leaving this window? Because here we have defined zero point 0.3. It should be negative zero point 0.3 because I want them to return. So if they collide with these walls, they'll return now. See how beautiful this animation is looking. So we are done with defining the code for this bullet. We are done with defining the code for getting all the enemy sprites also on our window, and also we learned how can we get the background image for this game on this game window. I hope you enjoyed this lecture a lot. Please do not forget to like and share the video in your groups, and do not forget to join tomorrow's lecture, so in which I'm going to show you the final part of this video of this game. Let me now check the comment section before leaving this meeting in case I have anything to answer. Definitely, I'll answer that query. And thank you very much to all the students who are there with me right now since I started the lecture. Just give me a short moment. I am coming on my channel. Okay, so I am not able to see any queries in the comment box. That's it from my side. Hope you guys enjoyed this lecture a lot. Thank you very much for being there. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye, everyone. Take care.